Herbert.
And I'm Kevin J. Anderson. We're here to talk about our new book, Paul of Dune. Brian, you want to talk a little bit about how the book came about?
Paul of Dune is a very detailed character study of one of the most interesting and beloved characters in the Dune universe. And as we explore the character of Paul, we know where Frank Herbert was going with the character, and we know many of the things that he mentioned about Paul over the years during interviews and things he said to me and various things he wrote in other places. And so we're going to take him on an interesting journey for the fans.
Paul of Dune is in effect a direct sequel to Dune, and it fills up the 12-year gap between Dune and Dune Messiah and explains why this great character had such a dramatic shift.
Right. Frank Herbert left a lot of things for the imagination, which is one of the wonderful things about Dune. And by the time the second book starts, Dune Messiah, there's billions of people have been killed in Paul's name. And Paul has become dark. He's a different character than he was in the novel Dune.
Well, it's quite a huge mystery almost, because the Paul Atreides at the end of Dune, the big heroic figure, he's charismatic, he's led this revolution, he's destroyed the evil Baron and overthrown the corrupt emperor. He's a big hero. And then when Dune Messiah opens up, he's a tyrant.
Well, some fans did not understand the characterization change from Dune to Dune Messiah, the change in Paul. They did not understand showing the dark side of such a terrific hero. And what Frank Herbert was trying to say was that it can be dangerous to follow a charismatic leader because he'll lead you off a cliff. And in fact, Dad spent maybe 20 years doing interviews and answering questions about why he made that major shift in Paul Atreides.
It's interesting because different parts of the book take place in different parts of Paul's life. So we were writing a whole storyline when Paul is 12 years old. So he's young, he's just learning things. His father, Duke Leto, is a very honorable figure, and Paul learns a lot from him, as well as many of the favorite characters, Duncan Idaho and Gurney Halleck and Thufir Hawat. And then we also have to show Paul leading this horrible jihad and justifying his decisions to sterilize entire planets and engage in horrible, bloody battles because he can see through his prescience that it'll be worse if he doesn't do that. And we also get to see some of everybody's favorite villains too. In Paul's younger years, we get to see Baron Harkonnen again, and we see the wonderfully evil and wonderfully talented Count Casimir Fenring and his wife Lady Margot and the daughter that she has, who's secretly fathered by Fade Rautha. That's all mentioned in Dune.
So we have kind of a dark interplay between Fade and his brother, the Beast, Raban. So I mean, the two dark Harkonnen characters that are dark in different ways from the Baron himself. So there are so many rich characters in the universe.
Readers who have only read Dune and haven't read any of the other books, even if they haven't read Frank Herbert's later books, or even if they haven't read any of our other prequels, they can jump into Paul of Dune. It's a new entry place, and sometimes if you look at our 10 books and Frank Herbert's 6 books, it might be intimidating about where to start. Well, Paul of Dune is another good place to start.
The series means a lot to us. We understand how the fans feel, and we know that you're going to be reading it in great detail, and we put a lot of effort into this novel.
And we're big fans ourselves.
Hope you enjoy the book.